What's up, guys? Oh, I gotta move around a little bit. Okay. What's up, guys? It's Keith back. I know it's been a while. I actually don't know what order I'll be recording this video in, but currently I'm playing Destiny 2. So at the time of recording this video, I actually have three Batman Arkham Origin videos ready to go. I just haven't put them out yet. And on top of that, I actually think that's it. I don't think I've done any other videos other than that. I'm not like stopping with any of the other things I'm doing. I just recently I got back into Destiny 2. And so Destiny 2 is basically like, it's like my main game, or one of my main games. So for those of you who don't know, I have like three main games that I play the most, and that is and they're my three favorite games, I would probably say, because I have the most hours on them as well, and that's Ark, Destiny 2, and Elite Dangerous. And so recently I got back into Destiny 2. I ended up getting the campaigns for Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and I got the season pass because I got some like CD. I'm pretty sure the website was called CD Key, and it was this like deal that I got the Legendary Edition for like $43. And for those of you who don't know, like, I'm pretty sure Beyond Light by itself is like $40 or whatever. So, I thought that was a pretty good deal. So at some point, I actually am gonna have it be like, I've made three different characters. This is my hunter. I've made a Titan, which is my main, who I usually use, and I made a warlock. So I have started the Beyond Light campaign with my hunter, and I've started the Shadowkeep campaign with my hunter, and then with my Titan, I've completed the Beyond Light campaign. I've almost completed Shadowkeep, and I've almost completed Forsaken. So I can't do it really with either of those characters, but my warlock, I haven't started any of the campaigns. So what I'm going to be doing, most likely, is starting a campaign with that. But for right now, this is kind of just a video I wanted to make. I just thought I'd record myself playing the Crucible. So I'm horrible at the Crucible, but it sounds like fun. First, actually, hold on. Okay, I don't have anything there, so yeah, we'll just do the Crucible. Heck yeah, this is gonna be lit. Yeah, so this game I have about 127 hours on as of now, I believe. Ark I have like 260 hours on, and Elite Dangerous I have like 110. So Elite Dangerous I have the least hours on, and Ark I have the most hours on. So this is like the in-between. Actually, a week ago, which just sounds super bad, but a week ago I only had like 67 hours on this. So I just played it like a ton, because I ended up just staying up super late, and luckily I didn't have tons of extra work that I needed to do or anything, so I was able to get time to play this game. But yeah, it's definitely very fun for me, especially when you have like stuff to do in it, because one of my problems with this game is that when I started to play it again, so for those of you who don't know, most of you probably do know, but in this game, instead of making sequel games, they had different seasons and then different expansions come out. So basically, they had like 3 free expansions that you could have. You don't have to pay money for. Also, forgive my horribleness at playing PvP. I'm really bad. I'm really just trying to test out this gun, the 7th Seraph, which I'll talk about later. But basically, what this game ended up doing was they ended up making it so that you couldn't actually like play those anymore. Not to like you know, try and, I mean, I'm sure there might have been a little bit of like trying to get people to buy the extra expansions. I'm sure there was some of that, but the main reason is because Destiny 2 is a really big game, so you can't really the game developers can't exactly just go, oh yeah, we're just gonna keep adding stuff like non-stop, because if they do, then the game's gonna get too big, you're gonna get complaints. So what they decided to do was create this thing called the Destiny Vault, which is basically where they just put stuff kind of away. You can still eventually play it. I think every year new stuff's supposed to come out or not come out. Kind of just depends on what's going to happen. But supposedly stuff from Destiny 1 can possibly come back. Like right now we have stuff from Destiny 1 that came back, which is super cool. I think right now it's the Cosmodrome, so all the strikes associated with that. So I think that's kind of cool. I think the idea is kind of cool that they'll be rotating stuff. I wish it was not rotating yearly. I wish it was a shorter amount of time, because I think a shorter amount of time would be really ideal. I think if it's too long, then, you know, if you're waiting an entire year to rotate the campaigns and stuff, these campaigns at the end of the day aren't very long. Like, you can get through them pretty fast. I got through all of Beyond Light in one day, because it's only like 5 hours of a campaign. So at the end of the day, it's not the biggest, like, I'm sure some of these campaigns are pretty big. I never really played Destiny 1 campaign. I played the main campaign Destiny 1, but I didn't really do the expansions. But basically, what I was trying to say is they have that vault, and on top of that they have seasons. So different seasons, you know, can have different strikes. They can have just different kind of things going on all around. And when they do different seasons, though, the light level increases. So basically what you have is this light power level that for right now starts at like 1110 or like 1100, sorry. And then the soft cap, which is where when you hit it, it's like the point where just by playing, like up to that point, just by playing the game, you're going to get higher levels. And then after that, you won't just get higher levels just for playing the game. So the soft cap is 1250. So up till then, you'll be getting armor from playing the game, strikes, things like that. Like, you'll overall pretty much just be getting armor that's like at that, like, that goes up to that level eventually. And there is the ability to do more difficult or intense game modes, I believe, if I'm saying this correctly. And that gives you the ability to get to another cap, which I believe is called the Powerful Cap. And that one is at 13, I believe it's at 1300. And I think 1350 is the Pinnacle Cap, which is another layer of cap that's super hard to get to. So basically it just kind of gets harder as it goes, which, you know, I think that's fine. Like, but my one issue is that every time they make a new season, they bring that up. So everyone who's grinded for getting to high levels throughout the season, which I don't know how long it lasts, I'm just going to say 9 months because I'm not sure. It's a pretty good amount of time, but anyone who's grinded up to then ends up immediately like starting at that next base, which is the last Pinnacle Cap, which I think's a bummer. When we came back to play the game, all our gear was at the base level, which I kind of understand it, because, you know, any new characters coming in don't have to, any new players coming in don't have to feel super overwhelmed that, like, dang, like, I really wanted to hit this, like, I really wanted to play really well, but, you know, I'm light level 3 and everyone else is light level 11, 10 or whatever, you know, like, I kind of understand that, but it is a bummer that the people who grinded to get that kind of just start at, like, the base. So I don't really know how I would fix that, but basically when I started playing again, we were at the base power level, and so there wasn't really much to do because, you know, the new campaigns were gone and the base power level was boosted up, so I really was starting from 0. So instead, I ended up getting a good deal on the Legendary Edition, and so I ended up doing that, and now I have what I think is a pretty good deal with having not only the 3 like main campaigns that you can play right now, but on top of that, the season pass, which I think is pretty cool because I've never actually got a season pass in this game before. In my 67 hours of playing it at the time, which is what I have, I never really did that. And so far, I think it's pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fan of microtransactions. I'm not a fan of currency that you have to buy outside the game. Like, I'm okay if you can earn it, even if it's super hard to earn it. Like, even if it's like really difficult, the fact that you can earn it in game, I think, is very cool. You can't do that with silver, as far as I'm aware, which is the microtransaction stuff that you have to have for Destiny 2. So that's kind of a bummer, but at the end of the day, like, a lot of the weapons and things like that, you can actually, like, you end up grinding for and doing a lot of work to get. So when you get them, the payoff, you know, feels good. Versus if you were gonna, you know, if you were just gonna have a game where everything is getting bought, I don't think it would be as good. So I think a lot of these, if I'm not mistaken, you can't really buy weapons in this game. You can buy like armor that like you think looks good, and things like that, and that's where the microtransactions come in. But you can't really buy guns. You can buy things that make guns look better. Gun ornaments are what they're called. So, you know, that's cool too. You know, I wish there was I think you can still get gun ornaments by playing the game, but I'm not 100% sure about that either. So, you know, hopefully that is a thing, because I think the idea that you can just earn all the stuff, even if it's super difficult, is a cool thing. But now I'm going to transition into probably what I'll call this video, which is my review of Destiny 2. So I have a review on my Steam, but it's very dated. It's not a very good review. So basically, after having played it for like 127 hours, I can definitely say, without a doubt, that this is 100% one of my top 3 favorite games. Most likely, it probably is my favorite game. Right now, it's like a hard... It's very difficult for me to say what my favorite game is. Because I really, honestly, I do really like Ark, Destiny 2, and I do really just like Ark, Destiny 2, and freaking Elite Dangerous a lot. Like, I do really like those games. So it's kind of hard to just say one right as of now, which this could easily change. As of now, I think I would say my favorite game is probably for sure Destiny 2 right now, just because it's the one I'm playing the most. It's the one that I'm doing the most work on. I'd say now, at this moment, it's definitely my favorite game. Now that could change, that might not change, so basically I'm going to go over what I like, what I don't like, which I kind of already talked about what I don't like, but yeah. Alright, so let's go over what I like about Destiny 2, which can be a very long list. So we'll just start off with the campaign. So I know a lot of people do not like the campaign in Destiny 2. For me, it's very touch and go. It's very hit or miss. I think sometimes it's very good. Sometimes there are silly elements of it that you're kind of just like, you know, that's not very great. But I think overall, the campaign's pretty good. You have to remember, first and foremost, this isn't a campaign game. This is a first-person shooter, and also an RPG. So it does have a lot of cool story elements, but in reality, its main thing is that it's a first-person shooter. It's not super. There's a lot of good story stuff, but it's not all just story-based. You kind of got to take it as like this is a first-person shooter, and they've added a story to it to make it more interesting. And I can't remember a ton about Destiny 1's campaign because it's been a little while, but I remember having lots of fun playing it. I thought the campaign was pretty dang good. And when I came back to play the Red War, which is the first campaign, I thought it was going to be I think it was very good. I thought they did a good job of having carried on your character, which was really what it was supposed to be, was carrying on your character, I believe, over from the last game, and bringing him into this game, and having him be like, oh, he's the crazy like kind of war hero guy, I guess, and he's or you're the crazy war hero guy that, like, you know, ended up helping out a ton, and now the Red Legion's attacking, and, you know, I thought it was really cool how the Red Legion just literally just went up and just attacked, because it's the most basic thing that anyone could have done, but also it's the most obvious, and definitely seems like something that would have feasibly worked, especially when they're especially when you take into account that the Guardians are at a peacetime. Like, the Guardians aren't, like, in the middle of, like there's still some battles going on, but overall, they were at a peacetime after, I believe the Taken King had been that last DLC, or it might have been, the Iron Lords with Rasputin and stuff, but, I think overall, that they did a pretty solid job of having a campaign that, you know, was first and foremost a shooter game, and also kind of had a decent story, I think, of the Cabal taking over taking the light away, and you getting the light back. I know some people complained that, you know, oh, they took the light away and immediately gave it back. Well, yeah, I mean, like, they could have just not taken the light away, I guess, but there was no way that they were gonna be able to take the light away, and then the entire game you just don't have light, because, you know, you're still gonna respawn, because they're not going to be like, oh, you can't respawn in this game. And sure, they could pull a Dark Souls and make it pretty punishing, but I don't think that's necessary. I think that having, you know, the light come back to you makes sense. And I thought the scene where it does is super cool, you know, with the whole, like, Eyes Up Guardian, like, that was a super cool throwback for me when that happened. I was like, dude, because, you know, I guess everyone remembers it, but I remember, you know, playing the first game and being like, dang, dude, that's like, that's like, you know, remember playing the first game, didn't think about it much, so in the second game when that happens, I was like, dang, dude, that's like kind of awesome. Like, that's cool that they, you know, adding that little Easter egg, I guess. I guess not really an Easter egg, it's a pretty obvious thing, but, you know, you basically know what I'm saying. But so overall, I thought the story was pretty good. I think that the DLCs are better than the Red War campaign. I played I think it's called The Curse of Osiris is the name of the DLC. That was a free DLC for a while. I thought that was good. I played through that one, and I played through Warmind. Warmind was really good. I'm pretty sure it's called Warmind. That one was really good. I remember enjoying that one a lot. Really, there's not many. I can't really think of campaigns that I just didn't enjoy. So far, I've enjoyed Shadowkeep. So far, I've enjoyed Forsaken. I really enjoyed Beyond Light. I thought that was really good. It was definitely very short. I probably would not have paid for that one at full price, but it's very good. Yeah, overall, I thought that Beyond Light was a really good one. I think what it does for Destiny really helps expand a lot of stuff that'll be happening in the future, which I think is super cool. I'm not necessarily going to go over that now. I'm going to do my own video on a review for Beyond Light, and I'll do a review for Shadowkeep and Forsaken since I'm playing them right now. I won't really be able to do a full review for Beyond Light. Not Beyond Light. I won't be able to do a full review for Warmind, Curse of Osiris, or the Red War because it's been a while since I've played those. So when those come back out and I'm able to play them, I'll play them, and I'll also do a review on Destiny 1 at some point. Probably not for quite some time though, because I only have it on my Xbox, so which is not with me at the moment, so when I am able to get a hold of that, I can play that. But I do think that it would be pretty epic to do reviews on those. So yeah, I know for Beyond Light, I really enjoyed it. So far, I've enjoyed all the other stuff that I've been playing. I've really just enjoyed the game overall as a whole. So yeah, I guess there's not really too much to say about that. I just really enjoyed the game. So now we'll go over gameplay. Gameplay's the same as the first Destiny, as far as I can remember, at least. Doesn't seem any more complicated. Doesn't seem really any more different or anything. It kind of just seems like it's pretty standard, Destiny gameplay, which I don't have a problem with at all. I think that Destiny gameplay is good. I don't think there's a need to fix it. As of Beyond Light, they've added stasis and other subclasses, and hopefully in the future we'll get more things like that. I'll go into that more in a review of Beyond Light, but overall, I would say that the gameplay is pretty good. Overall, that the way that in the game you're able to get things like flares and ships, and you're able to get it without having to pay for silver. The fact that you can do it without doing that makes me really happy, because it doesn't cost, you don't have to pay real money to do that. It can still be super difficult to get stuff, but you don't have to pay real money, which makes me happy. I don't think you should have to. I think that there shouldn't be, which I already said this, but I don't think there should be as much microtransactions like that. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. That's totally fine. I really like how you're able to, get different stuff like that. I like that there's emotes. I think that's cool. They're always fun. I don't tend to spend Bright Dust on them, but I always do think they're kind of cool, and I never realized that a lot of them are really just references to different things. So that's cool to me. Also, I really like that there's so many different types of flares. There's literally tons of them. I like that you can get back ones that you've already gotten, because I know sometimes it can be annoying if you get something like a flare and you're not able to get back, you don't want to use it and then be like, dang, now I have to grind and open chests and look around to get that exact same one. You can get it. It'll cost legendary shards, but you can get it. And I like that, I like how you can get legendary shards, because you can get legendary shards. Basically, you can get legendary shards through, as you've probably already seen me do in this game, not deleting, but discarding legendary gear, which I know a lot of people are probably like, why are you doing that? That legendary item's so good. Well, you know what? I don't really know very much about the legendary items, and honestly, I'm just trying to get enhancement cores so I can make an enhancement prism so I can get the Ace of Spades, which is another thing I want to talk about. There is a lot of grinding in this game. Now, in my opinion, I don't think the grinding is as intense as, say, Ark or even Skyrim, because I think for Ark, the entire game is literally just grinding, because it's just you grinding to get more dinosaurs, to get more other stuff, just non-stop. There's a story mode, but to do a story mode, you have to grind in order to do that. So there's a lot of grinding there. I think that there is definitely a lot of grinding in Skyrim, which is another one of my favorite games. Not in the top 3, but definitely way up there. I think there's a lot of grinding in Skyrim, and it's just quest and another quest and then a sub-quest for that quest, and then on and on and on. And for me, at least, which I'm not the best at video games, so for me, it definitely gets confusing of oh, am I playing the campaign right now, or what's happening? I have problems, with that, trying to keep track of, what I'm actually doing. Whereas Destiny, first of all, the way they layer their quests out, I think is really good. They have a whole, I'll pull it up right now, actually, they have this whole area for quests, and it shows the quests right here all together. You can go into like Beyond Light, which is the campaign, and see what quests you have there. You can go into seasonal quests. You can go into, this one's just playlists. You can go into exotic quests and things like that. You can go and you can check out different areas where the quests are. They're very easy to see, for me at least. And maybe Skyrim is very similar to that. Maybe it is super easy to see, but for me, this tended to be the easiest. This is the easiest thing for me to see. Was this way, having it all set up the way that it is. I also think that there's a lot of grinding in this game. So, for example, right now I'm trying to get the Ace of Spades. In order to get the Ace of Spades, I need an Ascendant Shard. And Ascendant Shards I can either get from getting to level 80 in the Season rank, which is when I can get the first one, which I am level 23, so that is which I did get that in like one or 2 weeks, but that is a very like large amount of ranks to try and jump. The other way I can get it is I can make it. So in order to make an Ascendant Shard or buy one from Banshee, I have to get 10 enhancement prisms. And in order to make one enhancement prism, I have to get 10 enhancement cores. So there's definitely a lot of grinding because enhancement cores aren't the easiest thing in the world to come by. They're not terribly difficult, but when you think about it, if I am going to need 10 for one enhancement prism, and I need 10 enhancement prisms, I basically need 100 enhancement cores, which is difficult to get. And I can buy enhancement cores for about 30 apiece from Spider, and I can buy enhancement prisms from Spider for 400, but by that token, why wouldn't I just save up 300 and buy the enhancement core and save 100 legendary shards? So there's a lot, and I can also do bounties. Bounties will help me be able to get enhancement cores. But it's basically a lot of work to get the one thing that leads to the next thing, that leads to the next thing, which is how most grinding ends up being. So there definitely is a lot of grinding. You can do a lot of stuff like that, and it can take, a very fair amount of time. But at the same time, I think that because the campaign is simple and a fun campaign and very straightforward and does not require grinding, in my opinion, from what I've played, I think that that's okay. That the grinding's the grinding is difficult, but it's not affecting the main campaign. So if you don't want to grind, you don't have to. You can just play the main campaign. You don't need to try and grind. And I think that's all well and fine. And for me, I definitely wanted to get the Ace of Spades because I think that's a really cool weapon, and I definitely would like to get the Ace of Spades. So in order to do that, I need to grind. And so if it gets to the point where I'm really just hating it, and I don't like grinding, I just won't grind. I won't get the gun. And that's just how it is. I like how you don't have to grind if you don't want to, and you can play the game completely grind free, and that's totally fine. Now back to kind of what I dislike about it is that originally what I liked was that this game was free to play, and a free to play player could do lots and lots of stuff. Someone who spent literally no money on this game could completely play 3 campaigns all the way through, do the starting missions of other campaigns, and that would just be how the game would go. So I enjoyed that because at first I was definitely a free to play player. I did not just I didn't just play I didn't pay to play. I was just a free player. And so for me, that was awesome because I was able to play those 3 campaigns, and I was able to have a really good time doing so. And I think at the end of the day, it's definitely worth playing through the campaigns. But I do think that because they had decided that they wanted to make it so you can't, I don't believe that they intentionally try to take away free to play, but the game essentially is no longer free to play. If you want to play it, you do have to pay money. The base game's free, and you can play strikes for free, which is all well and fine. But at the same time, you have to, if you want to play any of the campaigns right now, you have to pay to play any of them, because all three cost money. In my mind, what I believe would have been better is take one of the campaigns you have to pay for, take it out, and just put the Red War in there. Because at the end of the day, then the new players can just play the Red War campaign, and they don't have to feel like they need to go out and buy it, which I'm sure that that's part of it. It very well could be part of their marketing, is trying to get people to go buy it. Which, you know, if they're going to do that, they're going to do that. That's fine. You know, I think it would have been a good idea, even if they made a whole new campaign that was just a small campaign. It would almost have been better marketing to make a small campaign about the size of Beyond Light, if not maybe a little smaller. That's a fun campaign, you know, like just an average campaign, and have that be for free. So after they play through that, which will be fairly quickly, that would probably get them hooked on it a little more, and they would go, oh, you know what, maybe I will play, maybe I will buy Destiny 2, maybe I will, you know, buy some of the stuff in it. And I think that very well could have ended up working, but I don't think that they ended up doing that. And so maybe their idea was, if you played the strikes and if you played the Nightfall, you would go, yeah, I definitely want to play this, and I definitely want to pay to get more of this stuff. For me, the reason I paid for this is because I had played the game before, and I knew that I really liked this game, and it had just been a while, and so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pay for this because it's a good deal, and I know that I'll play this a ton. But if you're a new player, I think there should be more of an ability to play stuff for free. That's really my main unhappiness towards it, I guess, if you could call it that. The other thing is, I do wish that if one of the players had the DLC, as long as they were the leader of the fire team, I wish that the whole group could do it. Because there are plenty of times when my friends don't have the DLC and things like that, and I want to, like, and I know that they're kind of getting bored of the same strikes because you can only really do a few of them. And so it'd be cool if, you know, you could do the other strikes, not using the Vanguard Strike playlist, just choosing them. And the other people didn't need to have the expansion. But I understand that that's never going to happen, so not much of a point of complaining over it. The next thing that I want to talk about that I think is good is weapon and armor mods. I think the weapon and armor mods are really cool. This is where I'll talk about the 7th Seraph a little bit. For me, it's a really fun gun.
Take those zones, Guardian.
It's the hand cannon that I have that I've been using this whole round. I think it's really good. It's a very good legendary hand cannon in my opinion. I'm sure there's better ones, but you know, I don't really actually have much to say about it because I don't know much about it. All I know is that, you know, I bought the Warmind mod, which was, I think it was just, I think it only costed Glimmer and upgrade modules, I think. Or no, not an upgrade module, and mod something, like specifically like armor mod things that you could get, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's cool that you can mod your armor. You don't necessarily need to. I think if you want to get to a higher level and get good at games like Crucible and things, which I'm not good at, I won't be able to get good at, but if you want to get good at those, you definitely would want to do, you know, armor mods. Like right now, what I have is I have this gun that's pretty good. It's got some good perks, and I did some mods on it. Like I added, like, I think there was one mod that I added, and then I bought the Warmind mod, which goes on your armor. And so when you pair those two together, it'll drop a Warmind. You're more likely to get a Warmind cell to drop, which are like little explosive bomb things that you can just shoot at people. To me, that's super cool. Dang, I totally just died there. But to me, that's super cool that you can do that. I really enjoy the fact that, for the most part, you can Actually, for all of our, you can mod your weapons and armor in the game free. Like, you don't have to pay outside money to do so. I think that's cool. There are certain games, or not games, there are certain, like, weapons that are easier to get if you have, the season pass. For instance, I'll just show you one. One of them is this bow that if you play the game, you'll get it at 35 without the season pass. But if you don't want to wait that long and you just get the season pass, you'll instantly have it. And the bow's really good, so that's cool. But I like how not only can you get it instantly if you have the season pass, which I think is cool, because it's a little reward for getting the season pass. But also, if you just keep playing the game, eventually you will get it. And that's an example of, like, might take you a little while to get there, but if you like the game but you don't want to pay money, you can still get to that point where you can get cool weapons like that. To me, I think that's a cool idea. My hope is that they do. Those are my teammates. Lol. My hope is that they do input more things like that, which I'm sure that they will. I like that the Ace of Spades isn't something you have to buy outside as a DLC. I'm glad that a gun like that is something you can buy in-game. With in-game things that you grind for, not like silver microtransactions or whatever. So, I think that's kind of cool. Now, I'll probably talk about... I'll talk about PvP. So PvP, obviously, as you can tell from this video, I'm not very good at, but I definitely enjoy the PvP. I love PvP games. I'm never good at them, but this is a fun PvP game. I totally enjoy playing PvP in this game. It's kind of awesome to just, like, see all these people using their abilities and stuff. I think it's just an overall fun experience. I haven't played much of the Gambit, which I believe is another PvP thing. I've really only played Crucible, so, can't say much about that. But I know the Crucible, so far, I really like it. I've never completed a raid before. I've played them and done horrible at them, and we've never been able to complete them. But I'm sure the ones I've played were fun. They were just super difficult. And I'm sure one day I'll be able to finish a raid with a group of people. So I think that'll be cool. I like how there's a lot of expansive lore. So what I like in a game is expansive lore, and lore built around the whole universe. So that's what it's like, for example, for Skyrim. For Skyrim, there's plenty and plenty of lore you can find, and it would take hours to find all the lore. I like that. I enjoy there being lore that just really expands the whole universe of the game, and there's plenty and plenty of lore in Destiny that you can find. So I think that's cool. Another thing that I really enjoy in Destiny 2 is Nightfalls. I think Nightfalls are super cool. I like how you can get, better weapons while playing a Nightfall and better engrams and things. I think that's cool. I like that... Oh, dang, I just got destroyed right when I spawned. I like that you are able to... I like that you're able to get... I like that you're able to do Vanguard strikes. I think that's a really cool idea. I like the Vanguard Strike playlist because I like that even if you're not playing, even though you might get a couple of the same ones in a row, I don't know if they actually have the same ones in a row. I don't think I've ever had that happen, but I'm sure it could. Even though you could get some of the same exact stuff in a row, I think it's cool that people who don't pay to play have the opportunity to play strikes from other games. So that's kind of cool. and be able to do it for free. So, yeah, I mean, there's not exactly much else I can really say about the game at this point. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that I totally forgot to mention.
3 minutes left.
If you have anything, you know, leave it in the comments below. Maybe I'll make another video where I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. My intention is to talk about all the expansions at some point. But actually, the other thing, before I wrap up this video, is going to be talking about what's the plan for the future, basically. So, for Destiny 2, we have a new DLC coming out next year, sadly, not this year anymore, called Witch Queen. Which sounds like it's supposed to be a sequel to The Taken King. I think it's supposed to be Oryx's sister, if I'm not mistaken, but I may be mistaken.
You're defeated. Fight again.
And then then the year after that, we'll be getting Lightfall, which sounds super exciting to me. I think Lightfall, like, first of all, the name Lightfall sounds so cool. I think it looks pretty awesome. We haven't seen like gameplay or anything like that, but you know, the poster, there was a poster that was put up, which looks kind of cool in my opinion. Stuff like that. So hopefully we get to hopefully we get to have cool stuff in that regard, where, you know, hopefully we'll be getting cool stuff with that. My opinion is, because Beyond Light has Stasis, which is a whole new subclass, I think there's very likely that there will be guns that have that subclass as well, kind of how some guns have like the fire subclass or the arc energy subclass. I think there'll be some that have the Stasis subclass, which I think will be really cool. And in reality, if you go here, in case you don't know, classes and subclasses, when you switch over to Stasis, it's not going to be over here with this subclass. It's going to be a whole different thing. When you click on it, these will go away, and it'll just be the one Stasis. So I think there could also be two others that end up showing up for the Darkness subclasses, which I think is pretty cool that could be happening in the future. Another thing is about the Destiny Vault. Bungie has said that stuff from Destiny 1 will be coming back, which we've already seen with the Cosmodrome and the Devil's Lair strikes and things like that. I think that we could very well end up seeing things like the Taken King DLC coming back in this game. The Iron Lords, and then the Wolf. I can't remember what it's called, the Wolf something. I never actually played those DLCs, so I don't know. My hope, and what I think they would do, is they should make those free, because not everyone who plays Destiny 2 will play Destiny 1, but a good amount of people who had Destiny 1 ended up going on to Destiny 2. So I don't think that, since they already have that as a game, I don't think they should be making people pay for it if they already had it. So I think it should just be free. You know, a smart way to do that would not be to let it all come out at once. You know, just let like a little bit of it come out at different times. I think it'd be super fun. I've played parts of those campaigns before at friends' houses, but I've never had it myself, and I've never played it. I would really like to, and I'm sure that if there's some sale, I'll still end up getting that. I'll still end up buying them if there's a good sale or something, but it would be nice. It would make the most sense to me if it ended up just being free. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. It very well could end up being free, and it very well could end up not being free. So, we won't know until we know, but I guess until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, comment, comment about how bad I am at playing PvP, and yeah, maybe I'll get better if you comment that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the flippity flip. Well, see, can I get this kill? Bruh. They defended me with the crap. That was the second time that same person did that.